This episode of Atlas All Access is brought to you by the triple soothing action of Halls. Not really, but after a long weekend in Las Vegas, you're going to hear it in our voices. We did a lot of talking. It was a great time. We're going to recap it all for you here right now in a very short 7-minute window. Atlas All Access starts now.
Kirkin at 0450.
All right, fellas.
Welcome back to reality.
Welcome back.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun, and a lot of good takeaways from this year. From sitting back and thinking about it and having some time to reflect now. And I wanted to bring Chris in, both of you especially, but just to kind of walk through some of those things, and then in the end, really just say thank you. I mean, we said thank you a lot over the course of the weekend.
Yep. I think it's just a really humbling experience. Just meeting people and thanking them and taking them to shows and just having, breaking bread, as Chris would say, at a dinner or even breakfast. People are just, you can see joy in their eyes that somebody cares about them and somebody wants to thank them. And, the nursing gig is a hard life, and we all can attest to that. On their side, but they get to see a little bit on our side as well. And I think the nurses just come back and really, you can connect with them on a different way in that atmosphere. And it just, there's so many smiles and so many thank yous and so many just thanks for being here and being a part of this, and that was really cool.
I think that was one of the takeaways that I had, was just the sheer joy in not only the nurses' faces, but then in recruiters' faces too, when they met their nurse for the first time. After you build that relationship over the phone and text message and Facebook message and Facebook posts and however else you connect, but it's not the same as when you see them for the first time. Like, there were tears. I was surprised. That was Maggie met one of her nurses for the first time, and they were both crying, and it was cool.
It's genuine.
It was genuine, and it was just what we do here does matter every day, and what you do out there matters every day. And when you finally connect and you get to have that moment, it's special.
Yep.
Absolutely. I think just kind of piggybacking on that, just how hard we all work as an industry. I know we like to say that it's all fun, and you'd said welcome back to reality, because Vegas is kind of a fantasy, right? That's not how it is every day. And I think it's a celebration, and it really is about giving back to our nurses. But the long phone calls, the weekends and all that, and just be able to look someone in the eye and say, hey, I appreciate you. And just, I love just the relationship building, and not just our Atlas nurses, but all the nurses that are there. It's like, if you're a nurse, we appreciate you. Here you go. Let's just enjoy this for what it is. And it's really, I think you guys said it all for me, really, in the opening, as far as it's just a humbling experience, and it's just really neat. And I'm just like, our nurses save lives, and then you really see how much they need to just feel appreciated, loved, and to be celebrated. And that was really neat to see.
Yeah, and I think one thing Chris and I talked about as well is it's not even our own nurses. This was your second year. Obviously, Rich and I have been 4 or 5 times now, but it's not even just our Atlas nurses. It's the other people there that you see every year, and you hope. The hope is that sometime they work with us.
Correct.
But it's not about that. It's not about excluding them from the hype or excluding them from the things we do. It's that travel nursing as a family is Atlas's family, and I love that every year. Like there's people that I see, and I don't want to name names or leave anybody out, so I'm not going to do that. But there's people I see every year, and you got to experience that this year, that they come up and they seek you out because they want to see you again, and it's the one time a year that you can celebrate that friendship, and that wouldn't be a part of it without travel nursing, without Atlas, without the opportunity to get out there. So
right. I think that sticks with, and it sticks with me every year. So we've always kind of done it differently, and I don't want this to be about how we do it or anything like that. But multiple times I heard, like, and it was asked of me too, like, oh, do you have a card? No. Yeah, you'll find us. I mean, that's not why we went. It's not why we go. We go. One, we want to have fun too, right?
Correct.
That's part of it. But two, to celebrate, to another great year, another just like. And I said it, and I said it in a post yesterday. I responded to a comment, and then a nurse corrected me, and I agree. I said, and I've said it multiple times. There isn't an Atlas without all of you, right?
Correct.
There isn't, and that doesn't mean just us. It's all of them.
Yep.
Right? It's all of you that are out there, that are on the road, that are traveling, that are doing this every day, that are away from your families, that are away from your friends, that are making new friends out there, or experiencing new things. That I truly, truly am jealous of the experiences that not only our nurses have, but travel nurses across the country have. The different places they get to go and the things that they get to see. And I've written about it a few times. It's the norm now in the nursing industry, whereas 10 years ago it was cliche and people didn't do it and it was looked down upon and hospitals didn't want to use travelers, it was or whatever, and now it's accepted. It's
correct.
very widely
Correct.
accepted.
It was like, oh, hey, there's those guys over there, like and I think I have pride, and I believe that we've helped the industry, like things of love and family and where you belong. That's great. You can have a tagline all you want, but if it's not authentic or real, people feel that, and you want to be a part of it. And when you talk about exclusivity, that's what we've been battling in the industry. Like, let us in. We just, we want to be successful.
Right.
You and Steve, and saying, hey, we like what we did and we think we could do it better, right? That was the beginning.
Yes.
And then to be out in Vegas, I love overcoming some of those barriers of, okay, what do you want? Or, and it's like, nothing. Like, we appreciate you. Like, you don't have to have a VIP pass.
Yeah.
You are VIP and you're important because you're a nurse. And it was cool to see, like, I met some of Adam's nurses, and it's genuine in that it's not, that relationship is about Atlas. I'm Atlas, so I can hang out with them. It was even cool with other agencies, because if the industry is taking care of our nurses, it's a win-win for everyone.
Yes.
So there's not this territorial, like you think about the pool. I loved it that, we saw other organizations, we're the first ones to say, hey, come on in, let's do this. And it's really bizarre that there's this, that it seems counterintuitive not to care for people that are the ultimate care providers in our lives when our loved ones get sick. So it shouldn't be about what's your name, what's your specialty, where do you want to go. It really should be, thank you so much. And let's recharge, let's pour into you, let's be crazy, let's dance. All the taglines about Vegas, right? And I come back just thinking, I texted some of my nurses, I'm like, how could I have done it better? What did you like? What didn't you like? And, I'd be lying to say if there wasn't a part of me that wants to throw shade, like, oh, now you guys want to be this way. But if your heart's not in it, it doesn't matter. So play on, man. Do the dance. But at the end of the day, if nurses, their family, their experiences, how it impacts them over profit, right?
Right.
Then it's not going to work. And that could probably be a little heavy for our light recap, but I just think, just hearing what you're saying, it just really resonated with me that, Vegas and all the pictures show, like, one scene, but really the driving force in wanting to include nurses in our activities and to just say, hey, thank you, really is the driver of all of our energy and effort. So
Right. Yeah.
No doubt.
On a personal level, as we wrap up here, I want to. So, ironically, and I don't even know, I don't even understand how this happened, but it did, and I'm so happy that it did, because it brought me a certain amount of closure to things that have happened in the past. And I know because he said he watches these. I know he watches these. I ran into the guy that brought me into this industry 15 years ago in the airport. Who he's still in the industry, kind of. He's moved on now to a certain extent, and I got to thank him, because I never got to say goodbye when I left before and stuff. But he's the one that brought me into this industry. He's the one that made the phone call that brought back the story of my daughter being in the hospital at 2 months old, and said, I need someone to sign contracts with hospitals. Can you come over in this little tiny startup that we just started, and we only have like 15 nurses working for us. So, and now they're very, very large, and I was a part of building that. Anyway, I got some closure. I got to thank him finally, and he was very gracious. And so I know if you're watching, you know what I'm talking about. So there you go. Thank you. But yeah, overall it was fantastic.
Just how do you outdo it? How does one overcome what you've done before and stuff? And just super proud of our Atlas team, our Atlas family, from the nurses, from the internal employees that went, like just truly class act, and a lot of fun, but a lot of work as well, and a lot of fun stories that will go on and on for the years to come. Yeah. So
correct.
And that's we talk about it all the time. If you're not having fun, what are you doing? You got to have fun. So
right.
And I'd like to say thank you to all the support staff, all the nurses, everybody that was a part of it, and that we are committed to continuing to push the envelope, to not just in Vegas but in the industry, about just normalizing a lot of our operations, being transparent, and making sure that with all the hoopla and all the fun, at the end of the day, it's about helping you, helping just sick and hurt people, and thank you so much, and we'll see you next year.
Yeah. I think that'll take us to our Facebook post of the week as we wrap up.
This is the Facebook post of the week.
The Facebook post of the week really would just be run down through Atlas and Friends, run down through that group, and scroll through all of the amazing pictures and stories. And if you didn't go, if you've never been, start looking now and start planning for next year, because it was unbelievable, and I cannot wait. My voice can wait, but I cannot wait to go back next year. We'll see you next week.
Thanks so much.